this, I'm dead ass. Like, she needs to make this a side hustle.
Oh wait, she made that muffin?
She made this. Yes.
I thought you said she bought it.
No, she made that. I was wondering what she was in here doing earlier because I was in the room like working on the laptop and stuff.
You start smelling stuff.
I was hearing stuff first, then I started. I was like, "Wait a minute, what you doing?" Because I heard like when she made our smoothies this morning for breakfast. I heard that. Then a little while later, I'm hearing something else. I'm like, "What is that noise?" She in here baking muffins,
And
bruh. God dang,
so your cooking, your culinary skills is rubbing off on her.
bruh. Let me tell you something. I I don't bake chocolate chip cookies no more because she does it better than I can. I don't even
Damn.
try. I haven't even tried probably in about a year. I sent the picture to my aunt on my dad's side, who's like a serious baker. This woman bakes cakes, pies, cookies, like like just a general overall cook, but baking is her thing. She said, "Wait a minute, hers look better than mine." And when I showed her like how she made like different some other cookies and different stuff like that, she was like, "Oh yeah, she's good. She's really good." I was like, "Yeah, it's." I think she inherited that family cooking baking gene.
For sure. Because I'm like, wait a minute now.
That's bro, the little crumble and everything on top. She made all of that.
And all right, now don't start. Don't start. Get a side hustle because it's like one thing about people like to eat, especially out there in Texas.
Man, listen.
Like get it out there, like start it, and then like work her way up to like shipping to where you don't like you ship it based off of the postal service because you know some postal service like to delay some stuff.
Yeah, it's the packaging. Like it was this one lady I seen on Twitter. I had just recently ordered some cookies, and her cookies came with like they were wrapped in plastic or whatever, and it came in a box, and then it had a little instruction card on there where it says warm up like warm up 5 to 10 seconds prior to eating in the microwave, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, oh okay, cool. Like and they were really good. I mean, good little variety and everything. But I think that would be, like you said, the biggest thing is working on the packaging and shipping and stuff.
What's good? What's good? What's good, kid?
What's up, DJ?
Oh man, but yeah. Other than that, yeah. Today is my like I still have to. I ain't gonna hold you while we was watching. I literally restarted Dynasty.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, like 'cause I did not have time to do it today at all
Oh, okay, got you.
or yesterday. Like by the time I got legitimately by the time I got back to the crib
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, I I think it was like 10 minutes until Raw started. That's how, or no, I take that back. It was 7 minutes after Raw started, so it was like literally that opening promo. I was in the car watching Netflix on my phone, and then I switched to my laptop when I got back to my desk.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then probably like an hour into the show, I was fading out, and then by the time I think I fell asleep on one of those matches, I think it was after the J promo, so I'm pretty sure it was like just before that main event segment,
Okay,
and I
got you,
had to watch it back. I had to watch the highlights back.
got you.
And then as far as Dynasty, yeah, I fell asleep after that Kyle Mark match. I'm like, yeah, I can't do it.
Bruh, that was a good one.
So
That was a good. They went back and forth, and it wasn't like how sometimes some matches can be a spot fest.
mhm.
They had like key spots in there, but it wasn't like overdone or anything. Not to me, at least.
Oh yeah. So other than that, yeah, we ain't gotta. I guess we ain't gotta wait too much longer. We can go ahead and officially start the show and get the ball
Hit
rolling.
the
I feel like we have a
button.
lot. I feel like we have a lot to talk about.
Hit the button.
The button.
The button. Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Feeling like GRESH UNLEASHED. Feel the club go around here, I'm the cat. This bang bang gang, I don't owe you jack. When I'm in the ring, it's just me and my best friends. OC cutting no slack. Hollywood Miz, you can put me on the A-list. GRESH UNLEASHed, better put it on your playlist. Me and my fam be ballin' like the Bruce. Fight night, baby, hard hitting like Sheamus. Family first, yes, bloodline business. Winning all the gold, look at how they witness. I was taught to be the greatest. 1,000 days I'm running, check out the book of Guinness. Coolin' with the baddies in the baddie section. Guarantee you they ain't jaded. Yellow, you baby face, I ain't feeling your gimmick. The fans think it's overrated. I bet you thought you the EST, but homie, you don't even really go here. I'm better than you and you know it. Scumbag, baby, I'ma make that clear. Making many moves while I'm headed on a flight. I'm the megastar, baby, on these LA nights. Putting on 5-star classics, contract year, cause today is a whole new price. Brock Lesnar on the beast. Eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. Whole new swag with a price on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level gotta increase. Bringing content on a daily. Feeling like GRESH UNLEASHED.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary pals, baby mamas, baby daddies, and everybody in between. Welcome back to the GRESH UNLEASHED podcast. This is episode 114 of the show that brings you the good vibes to the best of our abilities. Joining you as always is the voice that does the most, the purveyor of mischief, Gresh. And joining me as always is one of my guys, one of my main mans. He is representing the Sucio Boys podcast, Sucio Sports. If you haven't already tapped in with them, make sure you tap in and stay tuned in, stay dangerous with him as always. He is none other than the giant of the crew, Jermaine, my brother.
What up, everybody?
What up?
I ain't even the giant in my own house.
Yeah. But when you come to this house, the house of Gresh, you are the giant. I am David, and you are Goliath. But the only difference is you're not a killer, and neither am I. So we are.
And we not opposing each other. We a tag team.
We the trios champions of or we are the trio of the podcasting game. Obviously conspicuous by his absence. Dwayne Hi-Lite Real will not be here for a couple of weeks for the foreseeable future until he is ready to come back. He had a family situation that is keeping him away. He sends his regards. And we sent our regards right back because it's all love over here. That is the brother. That is the voice of the Unleashed Anthem, as well as my right-hand man to everything that goes on. So, hey, we will see you very, very soon, post-WrestleMania, if you will.
Yes, sir.
WrestleMania is literally next week. It's crazy.
Bro, I'm not ready. I still have not packed or anything yet.
If I didn't have
be there for a few days.
If I didn't have family situation of my own, I would have found a way to make my way out there. But hey, life happens.
It be happening, all right.
It be happening. Life be lifing. Life be lifing.
Man.
Be whooping ass, and you be like, damn, do I crumble or do I just lock in even more and just make it do what it do? Because there's a lot of chances and a lot of times where I feel like I probably wanted to crumble, but I was like, you know what? Oh, Sandra Gresham would probably whoop my ass in the afterlife if I give up.
What? Man, look, I know I give my ass whooped. That's why I'm like, look, I gotta figure it out.
Yeah, like Mama ain't raised no quitter. She raised a warrior, if you will. So, and in regards to being warriors, you had to be a warrior to stay up and watch everything that was AEW Dynasty this week. Because what was the official runtime? 5 hours if you watched the kickoff or the buy-in?
If you watched the buy-in, I want to say it was like an hour, and the main card went off like about 11:30 or so my time. So yeah, it was a little over 5 hours if you watched the buy-in.
And if you are the type of person that watches the medium scrum, that was an extra like hour. So
You up to like 6.5, damn near 7 hours. That's like WrestleMania 35 territory.
I feel like that's every AEW pay-per-view. But it was actually a fun show. The ones that the part that I caught, because yeah, like I said, I fell asleep. Busy man. And by busy man, my wake up time every day is 3:45
Good
a.m.
lord.
and I don't go to sleep until I crash. So it's like, as you get older, you can only do long nights, and I know people who are those type of people who likes to pull 24-hour shifts or 24-hour full
Mhm.
awake. Shout out to y'all. Couldn't be me.
Yeah.
I'm good. I gotta
Can't
go
do
to
it.
sleep. I gotta go to sleep.
I
What
try. I can go like that, but eventually, my body is just gonna shut down. So it's gonna be like I'll go, and as soon as I'll sit down, watch TV. I don't even have to lay down. I'll just sit down, and that head will just nod.
Oh yeah, you get that comfortable spot, and especially if it's a comfortable sofa, you get your little you rub side to side. You sit back. You just got when you slouched over like this, and
Mm-hmm.
then it's like because you got the sofa right here, you got the remote right here, and you got your snacks right here, and you got if your legs start rising up a little bit with your knee, it's just
Man.
hitting the top. And you just sit back and you watching it. And it's like after a while,
Bruh,
once you start nodding your head, yeah, Yep.
let me tell you, I call it the sofa monster.
boy.
Once that sofa monster get a hold of you, get you in that rear naked choke, oh, it ain't nothing. What can you do? What can you do?
Just accept it. Like I got a recliner downstairs, and it's a thick recliner too, so it's
Oh,
extra comfortable.
snap.
So once I lean that thing back, guarantee and bro, don't let me. And I got a cover for it down there too, like a overthrow. Boy, once listen, I got this thing where if my feet ain't cold, I'm going to sleep. So if I put a cover on my feet, I'm going straight to sleep. Cause I'm like, if I'm gonna start rubbing my feet together, like, and then it'd be like, and then I'm just watching TV, and then eventually the TV will be watching me. So I just gave y'all an insight on how I be crashing when I watch Raw or when I was watching Dynasty this week, because I just got too comfortable. I should have stayed in my chair, but after a while, my body's like, bruh.
Bro, even if I try to because I have the adjustable base bed, even if I land in the bed and I try to I automatically sleep with it slightly tilted because I have reflux and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'll tilt the head part up more so that I can sit up. Nah, bro. It don't even work. As soon as that head get to that pillow or lean to the side or whatever, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And especially I have that that sleep spray.
Oh,
That
boy.
lavender, chamomile, and melatonin essential oil spray.
Boy.
Bruh, if I spray too much the night before and I get in the bed the next day and I'm just I'm gonna just sit in bed and watch TV for a little while, maybe watch some on laptop or whatever until I fall asleep. Eventually, it's watching me because I'll still have that scent on there. And if I'm tired,
Boy,
look, that essential oil ain't no joke. My son calls it Diddy juice. Yeah. I'm like, okay,
brother.
right.
I'm like, you got me sounding like Tyler Perry when he's in Madea cosplay. Yeah, man. Don't do that.
Hey, bro, I envy him because that dude, him and my daughter, she is the queen of naps. She is the queen of naps, and my son can just sleep.
I used to hate it as a kid.
Bro, I've seen this dude fall asleep with his phone in his hand. He was looking at something on his phone, and he just falls asleep with it in his hand.
That reminds me of when I went to visit my cousin after she lost her mom, and her daughter was legitimately on the sofa mid-text. She didn't even send it. and she just crashed. And I
Yes.
looked at the text. I was
Yes.
like, she didn't even finish her statement. She just said,
Yeah. Yeah.
and to this day, I still wonder if she ever sent that text. Because I'm like, girl, you are not out.
Brother.
Oh, man.
Brother.
But speaking of people who might knock him out, we talked about it last week, unfortunately. And I'm guessing we're back talking about it again. For those of you who don't know, we're going to talk about Dynasty in just a little bit, but we're going to get the bullshit out the way like we did last week. Swerve Strickland, Booker T, their back and forth is continuing, unfortunately, before our very eyes. Yeah.
Bruh, I'm gonna say it like this, and I'm glad Booker addressed it the way he did.
Oh, I got the clip.
Let's get right to it.
Yeah, so first off, we're gonna start off with what Mr. Strickland had to say.
When I talk about representation, I mean it every single fucking time I speak on it. 1 year, this kid right here that you supported for these last 12, 13 years, 1 year, 5 main event pay-per-views for Swerve Strickland. I don't just speak about representation, I go out there and prove the fucking thing. And I only make it this far because of you people right here chanting, whose house? Every single city, every single arena, every stadium, whether it's the United States or if it's in London. In front of 50,000, 80,000, I don't care if it's 200. I always want to hear y'all chant, whose house? Whose house? Whose house? Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for the merchandise. Get home safely. And one last thing, just for my amusement, fuck Booker T.
Yeah.
Hey man, listen. There's so much cringe-worthiness to what he was saying in that whole promo. First off, you're talking about representation to a predominantly white crowd.
Yeah.
So
wrestling in general is a predominantly white crowd.
Let's get that, out the air and clear right there. Second of all, you're talking about you live it and you're representing and you've been a main eventer and you've main evented 5 pay-per-views this year and all of that. All that's cool and everything, but the thing is like when do you realize that like people already got you pegged, bro? He already got you pegged. Like, you are not the greatest representation of black wrestlers that there is out there because like I think Marty calls him Captain Code Switch or the cultural chameleon.
He's the Charlemagne of the he's the culture, what was it? Shalom something. But yeah,
culture
he's
chameleon.
Culture chameleon, yeah. And
culture chameleon.
He's Captain Code Switch.
Yeah, and I'm glad those terms are out there like that because that's exactly what he is. When it's convenient for him, he's with it. But when it's not, it's like, oh no, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. Like when you had the perfect opportunity to do exactly what you're saying you're doing, you chose to say, nah, I want off that list. Now you want to be all about representation because you're at the top of the card. It's like, nah, bro. Like you want to portray who you want to portray when you want to portray it. And unfortunately, like we don't get to do that. And let's just call it what it is. As black men, I can't take my blackness off and put it on when I want to. Like I'm not a shapeshifter. I can't turn into a white male. I can't turn into a Hispanic or an Asian or whatever it is when I want to feel convenient. When I no longer feel convenient in this body, I can't do that. So for you to do that and continuously attempt to do that as a black man, and especially in this predominantly white space, it don't sit well with people, and people see through it. Unfortunately, there are those who are going to want the representation just because it's representation. And if you okay with that kind of tokenism and whatnot, and the BS that people like Swerve feed you, that's fine. That's you and yours. But here's the thing. You can always just shut up about it and not say anything about it. And the thing that I love is that when Booker addressed it, he addressed it perfectly because he didn't hate on him. He didn't call him no names or nothing. He just basically said, you just main evented this pay-per-view. Why you got my name in your mouth?
Yep. Let's hear it from OG's mouth.
You know what? Let's get the elephant out of the room. Everybody going to be expect to be. Let's rewind. I woke up this morning and I'm wondering, why is my name trending? Why is my name all over social media? And then I see the video of Swerve Strickland saying F Booker T at the end of what was it?
Dynasty.
The AEW pay-per-view. And you know what? I'm not gonna even get upset about that or anything like that. But I'm gonna give Swerve Strickland a little bit of advice, just a little bit. And that advice would be, don't be talking about something other than the pay-per-view at the end of the night. You know what I mean? That's the main event. That's the last thing people are going to remember. Last thing people remember is me, Booker T, my name being said. And I'm sure if Tony Khan really don't appreciate the news, the headline not being what happened at Dynasty and with all the matches, hopefully with the great card, with all the great card, all the great matches. But they're talking about Booker T. That just was a bad move. It was a bad move. And there again, he's got a lot of energy, at the end of a show, but I'm not that type, man. I'm from that school. If you got something to say to somebody, you say it in their face, you say it to their face. And, I'm going to leave it at that. You know what I mean? Hopefully Swerve Strickland will have a hell of a career. Hopefully he'll do very, very well in this business.
And my thing is, bro, Booker could have went back at him. And Booker could have easily said why he didn't say that to my face when we just saw each other a couple weeks ago. He could have easily went that way, but he didn't. Why? Because he's a real OG and he knows like this ain't going nowhere. And it's sad that we sitting here fighting against each other. So let me diffuse the situation.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? It's time to diffuse this. Let me diffuse it. Because just like he said, why are you speaking my name in this speech? Like, everybody knows at the end of the night, you send the crowd home happy, no matter what. Even if he did get screwed out of the title and lost to Moxley or whatever, like, you should still be like, yeah, I'm the man. I'm still the man. I'm going to go back after the title. We're going to blah, blah, blah. Ah! That's how it's supposed to be. You had that. You had him right in the palm of your hands.
And
even
then,
though the stuff
for my own amusement.
Yeah.
F Booker T. And I'm like,
even though the shit you was talking was a bunch of bullshit, you still had him eating out the palm of your hand.
Yeah. You had it.
And then you chose to do that.
Like, why? Like, I saw a tweet. I think I retweeted. I said they said after all that, the only person on your mind is Booker T. Really,
bruh? Like, you had the whole Death Riders out there. Then you had the Young Bucks come back and basically screw you out of the world title.
And you said, you know what? I'm gonna think about. You know what I'm gonna think about? I'm gonna think about Booker T.
Bruh, this is why, like, people could say what they want about Booker, and there's things that Booker may have said or done that I may not agree with, or other people may not agree with. That's fine. But full disclosure, like I'll say, I've worked, with and around Booker T, here at ESPN 97.5 in Houston. I've hung out with him, business meetings and different stuff like that. And like a couple of I know it was at least one little party at the radio station or whatever. So I'm not saying this from like some fanboy perspective or something like that, because I see where he's coming from. And what people don't realize is a lot of older people you know, from like our generation or older, especially older than us, like our parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles and whatnot, like a lot of them got along to get along, and they did a lot of stuff that we might deem unacceptable. I would never do that. But I mean, back in their day, in their time, like they just made peace in order to, you know, make money and you know, make a life for themselves sometimes. So sometimes maybe they did sit back and take some stuff that we felt like we wouldn't have taken. But if they didn't do what they did, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. So there's a certain reverence and respect that you have to have for people like that. You may have an issue with what they say or do or how they move or whatever. That's fine. But you can't deny what that man did and how he paved the way for guys like you to be in the position that you're in right now.
The reason why I haven't chimed in on it, like on social media, that's why I put my comments like, oh, this back and forth about to continue. And the reason why I didn't like join in on everybody either hating on Booker T or hating on Swerve is because I'm looking at it like this. Why are we as black men arguing in front of company?
Talk about it.
Why are we not handling this away from cameras, one-on-one? Like you said, like y'all said, he had the opportunity to say it to Booker's face, but he chose to do it in front of cameras and make it public. Like, bruh, come on. How old are you? Like
34. He's 34.
Like, I'm 30 and I know better than to argue with family, proverbial family,
Right.
in front of company. You may not like each other, but there's a level of respect as a black man for another black man is where you literally handle shit away from company and away from the public. Or as my grandfather would say, you don't be arguing with your brother in front of the white man. We're in a predominantly white community, and you're arguing in front of the white man.
Yep.
For what? Ego? Pride? Come on, man.
It don't make no sense, bro. Like it's, and the thing is, man, like I know, like by living here in Houston and being here for a while, like I know people who grew up in the neighborhood that Booker, his family and them grew up in, right? So like I know what side of town he's from. You know, I know what type of time those kind of people be on and were on back in their day. Like Booker ain't the type of person that's going, you know what I'm saying? If stuff get this real, oh, he bout it. He not one of them kind of people that's beyond that. I think at this point in his career, though, he realizes he has a lot more to lose than to gain. And that's why after saying what he said in opposition to whatever it was about Swerve, when this happened, this is why he had that type of response, because he was like, you know what, I'm done with this. Like this isn't what I want to be doing. And I want to say one of his tweets or something even said like we arguing with each other, and or somebody said it like just like you said, why from the company. I want to tweeted something in relation to that or what have you. But it's just, to me, it's, I mean, you hit the nail on the head with that. Like we arguing in front of company, and the time that you had to hash this out and get this off your chest and talk through it a few weeks ago, I guess you didn't. So way. I mean, you know, it is what it is.
And we're not dismissing your feelings. You're allowed to feel the way you want to feel. It's human nature. It's just the way you're going about it that has people side-eyeing you, because it's like,
right,
why you didn't keep this energy one-on-one, but now that you have an audience and people who in a predominantly white community who, let's just keep it a spade. Like, I don't like to bring racism into everything, but they don't like a lot of black people or black people at all. So now you're shit talking black people or this prominent figure in the black community, his faults and all. He's still the first person if someone brings up wrestling and when it comes to black, two people they bring up first: Booker T and Ron Simmons. Farouk.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Yep.
you're out here feeding their hatred in a way, their subconscious hatred of people that are black. So you handle it one-on-one. Point blank simple. That's it.
Yeah. It's bruh, it's jeez, man. It's just I mean, I'm tired of having to have these type of discussions
Because I feel like we're repeating ourselves. Like we're and I hate to say it, but the way he handled this, pretty much the conversation that we had last week is more so like a I told you so. And one
Yeah.
thing I hate hitting people with is see.
I it's a lot of times where it's one of those things where you're proven right and you hate to be right about something. And this is one of those things where I hate to be right because in the back of my mind, I always want to give you a shot and a chance just because you're a black man in a predominantly white world. I want to root for you. And I can separate the art and the artist, as some people will say, because you know you got talent and everything, and you got something going for yourself. And I would love to be 100% behind you, but I can't get with some of your ways. I just can't.
It's the situation to where it's like you can watch him and have a great time and be like, yo, that was a fun match.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly.
But you will never catch me going out of my way to see him at meet and greets, get a drink with him, smoke, like have a smoke session if I still smoke. Like you wouldn't see me like if he's at Wale Mania, example, I will go the other way. Not out of fear or a lack of confrontation, because I don't rock with your energy.
Right.
I'm a very protective person of my energy and who I allow in my inner peace. And you ain't one of them. And that's just a general statement. I ain't even talking about Swerve specifically. I'm just saying, like, I'm using him as an example. If there's a case where there's a situation to meet you, I'm not gonna want to. I'm going to be like, he's gonna be a situation where it's like, who all gonna be there? And I'm gonna be like, oh, he gonna be there? I know to avoid you.
Right. And to me, Booker is the exact opposite. Like somebody like that, I'm gonna gravitate towards. And I already know, like vodka and cranberry, that's his thing. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what's good? Like, and I have that picture of him and I might repost it, I might not, I'm not sure. I was thinking about doing it because just the climate and the situation around the talk around him, just to show him some love and support. But people will see that and then be like, wait a minute. We know how big Booker is. We've seen him on TV. If you standing next to him and you look like that, you're a big motherfucker.
I'm trying to tell y'all that giant ain't just a nickname I gave him. That nigga is a giant compared to me. Goddamn it, shit. But yeah, we're moving on from this situation. We're gonna switch gears and try to talk some positives or lack thereof, depending on who you ask. AEW Dynasty in general, I enjoyed it. Up until I enjoyed it. I still got to rewatch the main event to see what the hubbub is about. But the main event is what's the polarizing part. Kevin Knight, Will Ospreay, killer opener for the Owen.
Bro, great curtain jerker.
Great
curtain jerker.
Like I had no complaints personally. So what else highlight that happened on the card? Kenny Omega retained the international championship against Ricochet and Speedball Mike Bailey. That was what was your thoughts on it? Because I've seen a lot of praise that this was the match of the night for some people. Do you consider this your match of the night?
Ooh, it's either this one or the Fletcher Mark Briscoe. Those two are like the two that I'm really digging, like big time, because like I just love the way that again, this wasn't like a huge spot fest or anything. Like they had their high spots and they did their thing and whatnot. But I love flippy shit when flippy shit can tell a good story.
Yeah,
And
when it make like when it makes sense, like it has to
right,
make sense. Like, oh, this is your style, and you're selling parts. Like you're not just doing spot. It's like, okay,
hmm right,
what am
and
I
they
looking at?
they managed to do that very good in this match. There was even a good spot where Ricochet was on the outside and got on the commentary table. And then I think Speedball came flying in and kicked the shit out of him. I was just like, oh, damn.
Eh,
Somebody on Twitter posted a picture of the freeze frame
And
of
say, well,
Ricochet like talking, and then all you see is like Speedball's foot like right here, like
like
right before the impact.
one thing I can appreciate about that particular shot, because they did a similar shot with Tony and Penelope on
Mhm.
Collision, where she was talking and she kicked her out of nowhere. I love it when they keep that close
Oh
shot and they
man,
just kick you, because it catches you off guard because you're paying attention to what they're saying, and then out of nowhere, bonk.
bruh, that one was so dope. And the thing that made that one with Tony Storm and Penelope Ford so dope is because it was not only a tight shot, but it was a spotlight on Tony, and the rest of the arena was black.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, but this match was a really good match. I knew what kind of match we were going to be in for with the triple threat with those three guys in it, and it's like you're gonna get the quick strikes, you're gonna get the high flying, you're gonna get some high spots, you're gonna get some, you're gonna get a little bit of everything. But the way they were able to tie everything all together and still tell a good story, and Kenny still had to struggle to beat both guys. It wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
he just ran through them or anything. It was a really good match. I did like that one. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch those two again. I'm thinking and just kind of like figure out which one I like the most. But I did like this one, and I like the Kyle Fletcher Mark Briscoe match.
He said, Marty said, remember when it's pretty much similar to when Lash Legend kicked the shit out of Nikita Lyons on NXT that one time.
Oh yes, yes.
That's
That was the same thing. It was pretty much the same thing. Yeah. I love both of those spots.
yeah. I love it when it's like, I love it when it catches you off guard and you can't predict it. Speaking of Lash Legend, they need to go ahead and strap the rocket to her. Stop playing.
Man, listen. Just get it over with. Make it happen.
And
Please.
speaking of making it happen, they pretty much teased after Kenny retained Okada and Kenneth Omega is going to renew their rivalry this time in AEW. They're basically about to merge these titles because
Yes.
Kazuchika Okada just hit 1 year as Continental Champion, and I ain't gonna hold you, I barely remember his reign.
Bro, because there's not much memorable about it. Like I can understand like putting that title on him, but like he hasn't had any like memorable matches, and they basically used him as like more comedic relief than everything else. And a lot of people have been upset because they wanting to see the Okada that they were told about, the one in New Japan, the one, the
Mhm.
5-star match machine, the guy who Kenny Omega, wrestled in those crazy matches, and they had 5 and 6, 7-star matches or whatever. I think that a lot of that was attributed to they wanted to fast track their feud, and Kenny being out, sick/injured, like that kind of put a damper on things. And so they had to pivot away from that and figure out what to do with Okada. And then not to mention with the Bucks, taking time off or whatever, like that kind of took away from that whole storyline. So he was just kind of left out there floating, and they just kept basically trotting him out every so often just to make sure they trotted him out because they're paying him. And he's such a good talent.
Mhm.
But now that Kenny is back, Kenny is healthy. Now it's time to like, okay, let's shoot this to the moon.
So we basically see this happening at All In.
I think it should. Build to it. I don't think it should be like do at I think their next pay-per-view is Revolution or
Double or
there's
nothing.
Double or Nothing. Okay, there, Double or Nothing. It's like honestly, I don't care what's going on with the world title scene. This, if you build this, this could main event All In easily.
Yeah, I can see it.
Because I mean, the matches that those two guys can put on, still, it's gonna be amazing. And the one thing that I will say that I think is going to do better than what WWE did. For example, I was at WrestleMania 34 when you had the Shinsuke AJ Styles match. It was not their New Japan stuff. It was not. It was dumbed down. It wasn't as long. It was I think maybe like a 12, 14-minute match or so. But it still didn't give you that effect of saying, I saw AJ Styles and Nakamura go at it at Mania. It did not give you that. I think AEW will do a better job of coming close to replicating what those two guys were able to do in New Japan than what WWE was able to do. Security.
Yeah. He felt you were preaching. That's all that was.
I think he agrees with me.
He's like, hey, this nigga spitting. But nah, man, I definitely agree with what you're saying. Like, this is something that they have to mold into and possibly could close out All In, because following that main event, like a lot of people was writing off Swerve as world champion. Like, if I don't know what they're going to do with the world title at All In, but if they make this the prominent feature, this is definitely one of those top feuds or top matches, top billing matches, if not close out the show. That you definitely shape your entire show. Like, you got everybody flocking to Texas, the home of the Von Erichs and all these other legends that grace Texas. If you are a historian, you know who I'm talking about. But the Funks, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you make this a big show, and what better way than to have all these people who are like considered legends in the current generation.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. And another, it would be a good idea to combine those. They have a lot of titles.
Even we said that a couple of times. Like,
if you just factor in just AEW, don't even add ROH to the mix. They have a lot of titles because they have those two titles, and then they also have, I believe, it's the TNT title.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need 3 mid-card titles in your promotion when you don't have like a brand? At least WWE can say, well, we got separate brands, so this is the SmackDown, this is the Raw side, or this is the SmackDown, this is Raw, this is NXT. Like, we have different brands that we can say all of these, go for. You have one brand with 3 mid-card titles. Like, it's time to do something with that.
Yeah. Or go the pre-CM Punk leaving route and just make a soft split for Collision and Dynamite. Like, just shape. I think that's what they was trying to do. They're trying to shape Collision around the TNT title with Daniel Garcia.
And that's making sense, because that was often seen as like the workhorse kind of title, like the wrestlers title,
Mm-hmm.
And when you look back at like Cody, Sammy Guevara, Scorpio Sky, guys who've held Daniel Garcia most recently, now Adam Cole. When you see guys holding that title, those are guys that can really go in the ring, and guys that can put on a good match every week consistently with different opponents. So I think that would be a great idea. I think that they should take this title and, if you're going to make it international, intercontinental, whatever the heck you want it, the continental, whatever you want to combine, call it however you want to merge them.
Undisputed international champion, or just slowly fade out the undisputed and then just keep
international champion. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be great, but also have that be like your traveling champion, quote unquote.
Kind of like what they did when they first was the national.
Exactly. And this is what I think they should do with that title, because they have good relationships with companies down in Mexico and with New Japan. Make that like your traveling title, and having it on a guy like a Kenny or an Okada works definitely for them, simply because I was watching NXT. Spoiler
I'm gonna
alert,
watch it in a little bit.
yeah, that you'll see the spot I'm talking about in the Jordan Grace Jada Parker match.
Gotcha.
But to me that would make sense because that would also give you some cross branding overseas and whatnot. And those guys have a ton of experience wrestling overseas. Even a guy like a Jay White would be a good candidate to hold a title like that. If you're not going to put him in the main event title picture, a guy like an Ospreay would be a great guy especially since he makes his home base over in England. Having somebody like him holding on to that title would be very beneficial to you and your company and what you got going forward, because then you could also have him in England easily going to, Japan, somewhere in Europe, what have you, to go ahead and defend that title internationally. Like, I'm just saying, bro, like there's some meat on the bone here that they can build around this feud and build around that title. And I think that they need to go ahead, kick it off and get it started.
For sure. And I didn't really like, we ain't gonna talk about every little thing that happened because like the Owen, like who do you think we're gonna like the current standing? We got Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher advance and Mercedes Moné advance. How you feel like we shaping the Owen, this like predict the Owen? I feel like after we're gonna have a real good part understanding of how they're gonna shape the finals after that Athena and Mercedes match.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I could see I'm trying to think of who would be on the opposite side of that bracket. To me, it's gotta be Jamie Hayter or maybe Statlander, because I don't think Billy Starks or Thunder Rosa is going to the finals.
All right. So, yeah. Okay.
So I'm thinking it's gonna be Hayter or Stat versus Mercedes or Athena.
Oh yeah, shout out DJ. He said Takeshita was making the international title, the traveling title, a few times. He did too. So I need them to be consistent with it.
Right, and that's my only thing is just be more. You can be more consistent with it with the guys that you have holding those two titles right now. Once you combine them,
yeah. So
yeah, but I could see the Owen. I could see it being, let's say, like Mercedes and Stat. Mercedes and Hayter would bang too.
I kind of want to see that. I like. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind seeing Stat and Mercedes 3, but Jamie Hayter going all the way to the final, and honestly, this might be a bold prediction. I feel like if Jamie is in the final against Mercedes, she should be the one who breaks Mercedes' undefeated streak.
Yep, and that would be a perfect way to like,
because it'll be full circle because wasn't Mercedes, didn't her undefeated streak start at Double or Nothing last year?
I believe
that was her first match in the company when she won the title.
Okay, so if that was, then yeah, that kicked it off, because I don't think she had a match on a Dynamite or Collision or anything before that. I think that pay-per-view was her.
No, remember that was around time everybody, including myself included, was just like, bro, why is she cutting all these promos? Can she wrestle? Can she wrestle? Can she wrestle? And then they saved it for Double or Nothing. And yeah, that was her first match was the TBS title. She won it from Willow a year ago. So she's reaching a year mark as TBS champion.
Bro, I love it.
So that's what I'm saying. I feel like Mercedes should be the final, and that will be a full circle moment to have her. Unfortunately, if you're a fan of Mercedes Moné, lose, and there is a story. And if Toni Storm is still the champion, there is a story there between Toni and Jamie, because didn't Jamie lose her title to Toni Storm because she was injured before she went mad? I believe so. Because remember, before Jamie got injured, she lost the title in like practically a squash match because she couldn't do much.
Oh, right, she did have to kind of drop the title. It may have been the Toni Storm.
No, actually, let me double check. I think it was. It was.
Yeah, it may have been Toni Storm.
No, it was. It was. Let me see. Let me pull up. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm finna pull up the women's world title history. Let's see. Yep, Jamie Hayter. On at ironically Double or Nothing in
Look at
2023.
Look, we just had a comment to say it was to Tony at Double or Nothing. So yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of things that they can bring full circle in these next few months. And that's like I was saying, like in the group chat, like this is like their Rumble to Mania season, between Dynasty and All In, kind of, sort of. Or if you go from Double or Nothing to All In, it's like their Rumble to Mania season, kind of, sort of, because they always make like one of those shows. Like, what's going on? They always make one of those shows like their big show of the year. And to me, I think it would just be poetic justice to have somebody like a Jamie Hayter come back to that world title picture.
I agree.
At All In, because that would be a big match that they could put on, and then you could still have the Mercedes Athena face-off build, because again, neither one of those two ladies are losing their title, once they meet on that side of the bracket, because we're pretty much predicting that they're going to meet on that side of the bracket.
Yeah.
And one of them can take that loss without losing their title. It'll probably have to be Athena.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because the semifinals is going to be Athena and Mercedes. I'm just going to go ahead and say Athena beat Harley Cameron. So it's going to be Athena and Mercedes on one side. And on the other side is going to be, we can predict it'll be Jamie Hayter and Chris Stack.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think Hayter goes over and goes to the finals, and then I think Mercedes will go over and go to the finals, and I think that's when we'll get Hayter and Mercedes. And I think that Mercedes should beat Athena, but not be a clean win.
Oh yeah, I definitely see a screwy finish.
It's got to be some sort of screwy finish.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think when Hayter beats Mercedes in the finals, I don't want it to be a screwy finish.
No, it has to be decisive.
It has to be decisive, so that way you really elevate her and set her up for that next level. That can knock Mercedes' confidence, and then have Athena, pissed off because she lost on some screwy stuff to Mercedes.
Now and that could be your TBS title at All In.
Bingo. And you got it right there.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's so many different ways that they can book this, man, but they have some ways that they can book some good storylines over the next few months to keep us interested, to keep us entertained, and to make a good card at All In.
Oh yeah, because I ain't gonna hold y'all. As soon as y'all make that match official for All In, I'm going to go buy my ticket. I know some not some run down hotels, but I know some hotels. I'll be like, all right, let me stay there again. Like, bruh, come on, man.
Look, and I'm right down the road, so I might pop up.
And on the men's side, we have a wild card. Who we think is the wild card?
That's interesting because the wild card is slated to face Hangman in the first round. So I'm wondering, who is this wild card? Because typically they want it to be a big surprise, but you have that big surprise going against, Hangman in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So does Hangman lose because this wild card is returning? Because if this wild card is returning, like let's say a Jack Perry or somebody like that.
You think the wild card is in the pocket of the Bucks because they're still the EVPs?
See, that's another thing. It's a lot that could go into this, and one of the biggest things that I've been looking at since that bracket came out when you showed us is why is the wild card facing Hangman in the first round? What's behind this? So there could be something where Hangman, he's kind of losing his mind, kind of going crazy or something like that. It could be that Hangman loses, because he's not focused, and it sends him into a further tailspin. So, I know it's a long shot, but I would like to see Bryan Danielson return.
DJ said, I think the Bucks are going to screw Hangman out of the on. Then it's going to be Hangman Swerve versus the Bucks at Double or Nothing.
You know what? that has some credence because especially after that backstage segment that they had.
That and Hangman helped Swerve.
Pretty much.
So
it's one of those things, man, where you could see that build coming between the two of them. Like, maybe we need to work together to take these guys down and we can resume our fight later type of thing. So
yeah, that's why I said that's why I said I was like, when he said you burned down my house, you deserved it. I know. I'm like, that just flipped the switch.
Big time.
And I'm like, wow. This is really where it's gonna be. And speaking of the Young Bucks are back.
Yeah.
What was your reaction on this? Because I've been seeing, like, when I tell you the reaction to this has been extremely negative. I'm not even gonna say mixed. Like, I've been seeing more negative on my feed than positive.
That's what I've been seeing also.
What was your I guess you could say unbiased thoughts on this being the outcome? Because we said it last week during the predictions, which I won by 1.5. We said it I was like, bro, something is telling me Swerve is not winning because they made it too obvious.
Yeah.
Like, you know how when you watch wrestling so much, you be like, they make it obvious that you're going to win. And it's gonna be a screwy finish. That's the vibe that I got all the way up until this show. I was like, I gotta go with Mox.
To me, it was painfully obvious when word got out that he's gonna have his family there. I was like, he for sure losing tonight. I was like, damn, I need to text Gresh and change my pick, but I was like, no, I'm gonna stick with it. But the thing is,
the funny thing is, you picked Mox.
Oh, I still did. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you picked Mox because I convinced you last week. I was like, nah, you gotta go with Mox. Hi-Lite pick Swerve.
Okay, I kept thinking because I really was about to fall for the okie doke.
Yeah,
I really was. And I thought I fell for it. Then that's why I'm saying, like, I was thinking, like, damn, maybe I should change my pick. But because again, like, I may not like you as a person, but as a performer, okay. But no, getting back to the Bucks though, like, I was just, when the lights went out, I was like, what the hell are they doing? Like, what is this? And then when the lights came back on and it was the Bucks in the ring, it just this shot right here of him looking like that, like, you're supposed to be the baddest dude, the scariest dude.
That shit was hilarious, bro.
You're supposed to be the most dangerous man in AEW. And they got you looking like a little bitch with the Buck standing there?
Like, bruh, if you look at Matt and Nick's grip on his wrist, they barely got a grip. Bro, you could have recreated the Denzel meme. Get your hands off me. Like,
bro, easily.
But nah, and like the reason I said that because he was standing there like this. Yeah, he tried to salvage it by shaking, but it's like, bruh, my eyes are looking at their hands. You literally could have just snatched your hands away. And then he let them taunt.
Exactly.
Which is an extra 5 seconds. And then they hit the knee, and then he was out for like 30, 40 seconds, and Mox crawled over and pinned him 1, 2, 3.
Bro, like, it was like, when the lights came back on, I saw the Bucks. I was like, oh, it's the Bucks. And then when I saw that, like, that fake little scared face and the wiggle and everything, like, why are you trying to build them up as if they're like some real life boogeymen or something like that? Like, it's the Young Bucks.
Look at Nick's arms. I have bigger traps than this dude. What are we doing?
Bro, I'm just saying. Like, look at Swerve's arms and look at their arms.
Like, bruh.
Come on, dog. Like, I would have snatched my arm away, leg sweep one, with my arm to get him to fall down, and then turn my attention to the other one. I would have leg swept Nick because he would have fell on that chair.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have turned to Matt because he the one with the bad back. Like, bruh, like, come on, dog. Like, I know, like, we're supposed to think in kayfabe, but it's like, damn, can you at least get us to try to suspend disbelief for a second? Like, running around calling yourself the scariest man, the baddest man in AEW, and then you looking like this when the Young Bucks holding your hand,
like y'all about to sing Kumbaya
bruh.
around the bonfire.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
And it's like they can use the excuse, oh, he was exhausted. But it's like, bro, you don't even look exhausted.
Exactly. Like, we've seen you go like 40 minutes in the Texas Death Match. Like, come on, be for real.
Like, yeah, that's why I was like, bro, that's why, like, I didn't even watch the main event. Not yet. But when I saw that clip, I was like, bruh, there's like a plethora of times he could have got out of that situation.
Pretty much.
But yep, Jon Moxley is still your AEW World Champion. And I saw a theory. I wonder, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I saw a theory where someone was like, the reason why the Young Bucks did what they did. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick. Because I want to make sure I give them the proper credit, because I actually like this idea. I think I liked it this morning. Let me make sure. Like, I saw a theory where it was like, yo, the Young Bucks are like, because remember that situation when they left for a bit, they was scrambling, or like they was shedding paperwork. And I saw someone,
yeah.
And I saw someone say, what if the Young Bucks was shedding paperwork because they the ones that unleashed the Death Riders, and they got out of hand, so they wanted to like hide the evidence until it was safe for them to come out and show their hand.
I think I did see when you reposted that or something, but that was an interesting theory, and I do like.
I'm like, that theory. That theory kind of makes, like, that theory would actually make sense. So I wouldn't be against it personally.
No, not at all. Not at all. The other thing that I'm thinking about is just the whole, how whenever they tie all of this together, what does this mean for Swerve moving forward? And this is why some people say like the him and Hangman against the Bucks type of thing is going to happen, because now Moxley can turn his attention, elsewhere or whatever, and maybe to the Owen winner, and then the Swerve and Hangman can face off against the Bucks or whatever. Like, I'm just interested to see how they're going to tie all of this in. And I'm wondering if tomorrow night on Dynamite, if we're going to get any answers.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm like, this didn't even make me tune away. Like, you know how like niggas on Twitter like to be dramatic. So, niggas like on Twitter like to be dramatic. I'm like, nah, this makes me intrigued with the follow-up. Because what do I always say, for those who been tuning in to this show and Public Enemies since day one, that I've ever, all the times that I've been around, I like this. Like, once I overcome the initial shock, I want to see the follow-up.
Right.
I need to see the follow-up. If the follow-up sucks, I will tell you. I am not afraid.
And that's always the thing, man, is, like we always look for that, and how are they going to move on from here, and what are they going to do that's going to, like, follow up and make this story interesting. And there's a lot of different avenues and directions that they can go in. It's just sometimes things don't always pan out like we wanted to, and that's what leaves us unfulfilled with some of these stories.
It don't pan out, and then let's keep it a spade to spade. Some of the pieces that they put in the puzzle just doesn't make it compelling. Like, some wrestlers have the personality of dry paint, so they can't really sell you on something if they're not intriguing. So that's what I'm saying. There's just a lot of, hopefully everything falls into place, because the Bucks are a polarizing duo. Some people don't rock with them, some people do. So when it comes to the Young Bucks, they are split. They split the industry legitimately. Like some
Yes.
people love them.
Yes.
Like they are the greatest tag team in the world. And some people like, bro, they are ruining professional wrestling. And then there's me who doesn't give a fuck. Long as it's entertaining. Like I don't really care if they
Right?
ruin or make it great. Like it's like, let's have some fun. Because it's at the end of the day, it's scripted violence.
Exactly.
Speaking of scripted violence, rated FTR is no more. I guess that's the last thing we could talk about for Dynasty before we move on to everything.
They gone.
They are done.
They gone.
FTR hair smashed Adam Copeland with the concerto. How we feeling about this? Like, I already know Cash loved the fact that he got the concerto edge because it sounded like a gunshot. Poo poo.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know him and guns go hand in hand.
Hey man, I love it because he got FTR hair, like y'all call him, to basically join in on the fun. And now they both turned on Edge. And now basically Edge is like the new Rey Mysterio. Because everybody turns on him.
Yep.
You know, like that's his new role. You know what I'm saying? And so I love the fact that we got FTR bald and FTR hair on the same page. Now, like DJ commented, the Edge and Christian reunion. This is what some people are hinting at.
Mm-hmm.
Because Christian got screwed out of his cash-in or whatever, and they've already revisited their feud early on in Edge's days in AEW. So there's no need to revisit the feud. It's just a matter of how do you get that reconciliation and get them on the same page to fight FTR.
Right. Because in my case, brother, you hit me in the balls with a spiked out bat. It's fuck you forever.
Man,
storyline. That's
Look
just me
here.
though. But it is wrestling. Like The Rock and Hulk Hogan teamed up after Hulk Hogan and the NWO tried to kill The Rock in the ambulance that one time with a truck.
Mm-hmm. And you know, like there's also the fact that like Triple H tried to take out Shawn Michaels before he officially came back, and that's what ended up making him come back.
Oh yeah, he slammed his head through the windshield.
Yeah. So I'm saying, bro, like there's ways that they can do this. It's just a matter of what avenue do they take and how do they tell that story. And that's what I'm always most interested in is what avenue do they take and how do they tell that story?
Yeah. So, well, no, you know me. When it comes to me, like if it makes sense, I'm all for it. If it doesn't make sense, I'm gonna tell you about it. But overall, despite what the small fraction of the wrestling fandom social media says, AEW Dynasty was a fun show.
Yeah.
The main event was polarizing to say the very least. Will I hate it? Probably. Because the Death Rider stuff is just not clicking with me, but it probably clicks with somebody else. I don't know. I can't speak on behalf of the other thousands that watch wrestling. Because social media is such a small minority when it comes to that. But yeah, that was Dynasty. And a quick NXT update. I believe Julia is back. She just turned heel on Stephanie Valkyrie.
Yep.
Because she dropped her and she stepped on her face with the title in the crowd booing. But hey, I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. I will never boo Julia.
Ever.
I will never boo Stephanie.
Ever.
I hope both teams win.
Ever.
Like, have you seen? And she got blue hair, bruh. Come on,
brother, good brother.
That's all I'm gonna say. But I guess we can talk some WWE. The road to WrestleMania is heating up. We got some matches that are confirmed. I guess we could get the shitty one out the way. We got Rey Mysterio versus what's the nigga name? El Grande Americano.
Yes.
That lets you know how much I care. I don't even know the nigga name. I just called it that
Yeah.
nigga.
That's an order at Starbucks.
It's like, how do you say? I'd be like, how do you say that nigga in Spanish? Because that's what I felt like. I'm like, this nigga here. But yeah, this is the match we're getting.
The only thing I can say about this is it's because it's Rey Mysterio.
Oh, for sure.
It's because it's Rey Mysterio. That's
if it was anybody else,
it's Rey Mysterio. That's it.
If it was anybody else, it would have been on WrestleMania SmackDown.
Easily. Because I forgot we don't have any pre-show matches anymore. It's just a lot of fluff.
Yeah, SmackDown's basically the pre-show,
right?
So how do you feel about how you feeling about this storyline? Well, the current state of the storyline, because I know we had our opinions with the mask and all that stuff. Like, how we feeling about this being, I guess you could say, big enough to main event, to make it to the WrestleMania card?
It makes absolutely no sense.
No.
And there's so much more that they could have done to put a Rey Mysterio match on this card. But I mean, I guess you got. I mean, you don't. I don't. I don't, bro. It don't make no sense. Like, what are we doing with this? Like, why are we stretching this out to Mania like this? Like, what purpose is this serving other than to give Rey Mysterio another Mania match on his way out the door? We know he got less time left than he got ahead of him. He like 50. Like, so what are we doing? What are we really doing?
Like, the only way I see this being somewhat interesting if it's mask versus mask and Rey win.
Honestly, I would say mask versus mask and Rey loses, but do we really want Rey Mysterio to lose his mask and what would be one of his final matches against El Grande Americano?
Nah, because I believe he said if he do lose his mask, he want to lose it to Dom.
Right. So I'm saying, why are we even wasting our time with this shit right here? We can take the mask off of Chad Gable on like SmackDown or Raw or Netflix.
That's why I said I think they meant when they announced. I was like, I think he meant WrestleMania SmackDown, and then they made this graphic. I was like, oh, you fucking kidding me? All right.
Hopefully, they put it on the pre-show. That would be great.
Just get it out the way.
Get it out the way, please, or move it to SmackDown. Like, do something, man. This ain't even a WrestleMania worthy match, bro.
This ain't even a Sunday Night Heat worthy match.
No, this is definitely Sunday night. This is Rey Mysterio and Chad Gable. Like, you got one of the best workers in the game against a legendary luchador. Come on, dog. You can't. It's at least worth Sunday Night Heat.
Okay. I'll give him Sunday Night Heat because I could have said Velocity, but yeah, we'll go with Sunday Night Heat.
God. I'm surprised you didn't say put it on speed on Twitter.
Honestly, they could have put it on. You know what? No. I'm gonna show Ray respect. I'm gonna show him respect. Let me chill. Listen, I'm just not a fan of this storyline. It has nothing to do with the racial or implications of none of that stuff, or the corny Vince McMahon isms with this storyline. It's just I don't care about it because I feel like they could be doing a lot more with both Chad Gable and Rey Mysterio. So,
definitely.
But another match that that was made official on SmackDown was for the United States Championship. That last monster standing, if you will, last man standing match. We got Jacob Fatu versus L.A. Knight.
Yeah. Hey, man.
This last man standing match was like, one thing about Jacob Fatu, I remember that report that they put out that a lot of people, that WWE was hesitant on debuting Jacob Fatu because he might outshine Solo Sikoa.
Mm-hmm.
brother. He's in a whole nother atmosphere. This man right here.
I heard they didn't want him to outshine Roman.
And I'm not gonna hold you. If they keep going this route, he gonna outshine Roman. Respectfully, he's gonna outshine the tribal chief.
That dude can work.
And it's not even just him working. His working is a bonus. He has a presence about him.
Bruh, it's all, he has the total package. And I know people say that 5'2" player, total package, he can do it all, blah, 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 score on 3 levels, all that good stuff. All them superlatives, adjectives, and phrases, yes, that's Jacob Fatu. Because he not only has a believability and a presence, and he can work, but dude, you see them pre-match promos he cuts? Backstage segments, the vignettes and everything. I mean, like, dude, like he got it. Whatever it is, in and out of the ring, he got both of them, both its, all of its, everything. He got it.
Like that T-shirt, it says, "I'm gonna beat your ass, coast to coast, post to post."
Come on, bro.
I've never been so quick to like, bro. The next time I get paid, I'm gonna go ahead and buy that shirt. I'm not even gonna hold you.
No, like,
because he's 3-0 when it comes to merch. That I forgot the other one. Like the one he debuted in, the Wolf.
Yeah. That one.
And then he got another one that one of his slogans. And I'm like, bruh, this is crazy. Oh, it's the Samoan werewolf one. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, this dude.
It's the big face, the walking werewolf, and then this one, I think.
Yep. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, bro, this dude, like, I will legitimately wear that shirt in public.
Man, let me tell you. Speaking of, I'm glad you said that because it reminded me. I got a homeboy. He be tuning into Sucio Sports. Dr. Dre on 290 on Twitter. Dre used to be an old school wrestling fan. Like he remembers like Paul Bosch putting on shows back here in Houston back in the late 80s, in the 80s and stuff. So he's old school wrestling fan, right? He recently got back into it within the last year or so. And now his wife is getting back into it. And he went and got him I think he got the red Fatu shirt. He was like, man, I had to get this one. He was like, man, that dude is my favorite right now. Like, I love Jacob Fatu. You know, and this is a guy who, like I said, he remembers old school, like 80s wrestling and 70s wrestling and stuff. But when he started watching again, and he's getting back into the different stories and storylines and whatnot, Jacob Fatu was one guy that really stuck out to him. And I sent him, it was the MLW title match with him and Alex Kane. I sent him that one. Yeah, I sent him that one, and I think I sent him another one to watch. And he was like, oh, hell yeah. Easily my favorite wrestler. Easily. You know, and then it's just to see him go up against Braun Strowman in the last man standing match and beat him the way he did. Like, he stood in there toe-to-toe with Strowman. And they dished out some serious punishment. Like, they really tried to beat the hell out of each other. And Jacob ended up coming out on top. Pause. So I love the way they did that whole thing, you know. And if you think about it, when did Roman really like start to set himself apart? It was when he was able to beat guys like Strowman, like Brock Lesnar and stuff like that, and really put on a match and put on a showing. Like yeah, I can have these matches with these smaller guys, but I can also have a match with, you know, bigger guys as well. And really like bang out a good match and whatnot. And, you know, good point. Good point. The second time he's beaten him in the last Monster Standing match. And it's just, bruh, they're gonna slow roll his superstar build and the rocket that they're gonna attach to him. And I get it because the top of the card is so crowded. But in the meantime, they're doing a good job of building him as this, you know, believable character.
Facts. Like, I have no additional opinion to give on that because it's like, bro, I'm here for the ride. Like, this dude, like, I stumbled across him in like you in MLW. I believe it was the Alex Kane match, and I've been hooked. And then him being the world champion over there for nearly 3 years.
Yeah, it was something crazy like that.
So I'm like, bro, I'm all in. Like I'm all gas, no brakes when it comes to being a fan of Jacob Fatu. So you already know I am ready, willing, and able to watch this man lock in. And speaking
Thank you.
oh, thank you. Speaking of locking in, Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair was locking in on hate.
Fucking yo, bruh. Like, first of all, let me just get this out the way. Let's have our fun and games first. Why the hell Charlotte look like she got on a bedazzled neck brace?
I don't know what's going on.
I was like, what the hell is that? It was distracting because I was like, is she hurt or is that an accessory? Like, what? I don't know. But anyway, they pulled out. Tiffany pulled out the guns. Tiffany said, "You bitch." After that last sit down side by side video promo where Charlotte kept talking, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna let you talk first." And then she interrupted her and kept talking over. I was like, "Ooh wee." Everybody was saying, "Oh, Tiffany looked bad, and Charlotte just did this and that, blah 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 blah." Tiffany said, "All right, I'm gonna get your ass back." And as soon as she saw that opening, when that crowd got to Charlotte and Charlotte just basically gave up, Tiffany was like, "Nah, bitch, I'm about to unload the clip." She got it.
She was so what diss track was she listening to before she got there?
Damn, Kaiser is her boyfriend, and we know Kaiser and Gunther like hip hop. I'm imagining it had to be like Not Like Us.
Was it Vaseline?
Ether.
Ether?
It was like Ether, or maybe it was something by Jay-Z. I can't remember who it was that like Kaiser and them like listening to, or whatever that was. That's he probably was playing it for her in the car on the way to the arena. He was like hyping it up, like, "Yeah, you got this, you got this."
And someone posted a picture of her hanging with Punk too over the tour, and they was like, "Oh yeah, he rubbed off on her. He got in her ear, say, hey, you need to lock the fuck in,
big time.
Like, hey, you need to make it like people are writing you off already. Go make it personal." And personal, she did. Like,
let me tell you.
Listen,
a reason why we can definitely believe this. Punk had them kids on LFG locked in to where big Jasper Troy cut one hell of a promo on CM Punk and why he left and all of that. I could see Punk getting in her ear and getting her to lock in the same way.
Like, bruh, like, listen, I'm not one of those people who gonna get offended on anybody's behalf because I've seen the reaction to it, and some people are upset that Tiffany brought up her divorce. Multiple divorces. I believe she said, "You're what, 0-3 outside the ring?" And I'm like, damn. Because at first when I saw it, I didn't even know what she was talking about. I was like, 0-3, what are you talking about? And then I was like, and then I had to do a quick like Google search. I was like, oh, she's been divorced 3 times. I was like,
that's why I've said she's only a couple of title reigns and a couple of divorces from passing her dad.
Yeah, I was like, ooh. And she mentioned the talk show. What talk show was it? The Sherry Shepherd show?
It was like I think it was Sherry Shepherd, the show she went on.
And she mentioned all that. She was like, you talking about you the queen, you run this shit, but you out here boohooing on some dumbass talk show. And I'm like, and she was like, what did you do at 25? You failed volleyball career,
drinking in your daddy's basement.
My tweet when I said her real accent was slipping out went trending, and people was like, wait, from Minnesota you have an accent? Yes, the fuck y'all do. If you're from Minnesota, any part of Minnesota, like Brock has an accent, Tiffany has an accent.
I put it to you like this here. A Minnesota accent is like if somebody from Canada grew up in the South or like lived in the South and those accents merged, that's a Minnesota accent. It's like a country Canadian.
She's a Contradian. Yes. She's a Contradian. Yes. Yes.
I gotta hear. I need to listen the next time because my cousin he went to college up there and played ball up there. When he graduated, he went overseas and then came back, and they relocated up there. So, and he from Thibodaux, Louisiana. Relocated. I got to hear the next time like they post a post game like interview or speech or something, because he coaches a high school basketball up there. I need to start listening to Cuz accent a little bit closer to see if he lost it and picked up on that one, because that would be a strange accent to hear. But
let's be real. If Tiffany, you know how she do the high pitched Sharpay Evans High School Musical voice, if she talking her regular accent, I feel like her voice would not be that high. It would be slightly deep in the middle.
No, because that when that accent kicks in, it doesn't give way to high pitch.
No. And when she said drinking in your daddy's basement, I'm like, yeah, that was country. That was Contredo. Yep.
As somebody who has had to like slow down my talk and control my accent, you know, doing radio and stuff, especially some TV stuff, like to make sure people are understanding what I'm saying. Whenever your accent comes out, that's real emotion. And that's how I know, like, that shot that she took at Charlotte, that wasn't just like I'm gonna just take the shot or whatever. Like that was not, you can definitely tell that was not scripted, and she really meant that shit.
Yeah, because if you read a report that's online, they said they went off, like they probably said one or two lines that was on the rundown for them, and they just shot from the hip.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna hold you. That made me more interested in this match.
Bro, you took the words right out of my mouth. That's literally like the next thing I was going to say, because that promo, right? Like the last promo made me think like, damn, like, is this going to be another Charlotte WrestleMania title win? But this promo right here, Tiffany was like, nah, I got my big girl panties on today, bitch.
We should lock in.
Like you want to take this off script and you want to go there? Bet.
Like she probably was listening to the closing remarks from DNA. Fuck your family, fuck your culture, fuck your life, fuck your pride, fuck your fam, fuck your drive, fuck your mama, fuck your dad. She was saying, like who am I? Not your father, not your facts are. Woo!
Hey man, listen, I definitely was way more interested in this match after this promo.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to this coming Friday and the following Friday as well, because
I just see that fallout.
You gotta address it some kind of way.
Because they actually cut it out. Like they cut the closing. They cut the closing promo out of the social media post.
Yeah, bruh. That's when they start editing stuff out of clips and social posts and like I know when they upload it to stream or whatever, they've already said that they've edited some of that stuff out of that promo. That's when you know, like, oh wow, like yeah, this ain't no game. Like this ain't no game at all. And sometimes you need a little bit of personal touch and flair, you know, pun fully fucking intended. You need a little bit of that to like spark things up or whatever. You need a little bit of realism to add to the level of beef that they have going into this. Because for the longest time, when we looking at this match after she picked Tiffany, it was just like, oh, okay, the young blonde against the old blonde. That's basically what we saw it as. It was like, well, whatever. This will either be, you know, another Charlotte Flair crowning moment at Mania, or that they're actually going to put the rocket to Tiffany and get her a win over Charlotte.
Yeah.
So it's like either way they go. Like I think more people are going to be. I don't know. It seems like it's going both ways, because if you look at online, there were people like ardently defending Charlotte.
Oh yeah, people were legit. Like that's what I'm saying. I woke up, I'm like, bro, y'all literally took this shit personal.
Bruh. I mean, like like, okay, I understand being a fan of somebody and defending them or whatever, but to the depths and the levels that some people were going, like,
Like people was literally like
relax.
taking it like when Stephanie Vacure reacted to not even the personal part, but the other part that they actually posted. They was throwing shots at her, and I'm like,
Yeah,
y'all gotta
bro.
chill the fuck out. Like it's not that fucking deep. One, Charlotte don't know who y'all are, and two, it's like it's people who just don't even show their fucking face regardless. So I'm pretty sure some stupid ass fanboy or fangirl behind the social media avatar of Alexa Bliss, or I'm just throwing that name out there, Alexa Bliss or Charlotte Flair from 2016, talking shit for what? For what? Like, no, like let the wrestlers wrestle and let them, like, y'all be the main ones talking about, oh my god, this is predictable, this is boring, this is whatever the case. But then when they get a little raw or off the cuff, y'all want to get offended or try to or take shit too far, and then wonder why wrestlers don't even like y'all.
And wait, another thing too. Why do they like you said they clamor for stuff, and then when they get it and it's not the way that they want it to be presented to them, it's a problem. And it's like, but you asked for this. You wanted something to get you invested in this feud, and now that they gave it to you, why are you so pissed off about it? Because it didn't happen. And this speaks to a larger issue with, especially in the IWC, they clamor for something and they want something to be a certain way, and when it doesn't look the way that they predict that it should look, now they're pissed off, and now they don't know what they're doing, and they're fumbling this or they're fumbling that. And it's like, man, shut the hell up and just enjoy the damn ride. Like,
Or as one of the homies on Twitter said, just don't fucking watch. Like no one is forcing you to watch. I promise.
thank you. Thank you.
I
Like,
promise.
nobody's gonna lose sleep if Joe Schmo with his 200 followers, that's, just started his Twitter account 2 years ago, that don't have a profile picture and got like 6 numbers behind his Twitter name, bot, is upset that Tiffany got personal with Charlotte. And on vice versa, nobody cares that you sitting in your mom's basement or you're some, bot from like Europe or something that's pissed off that Charlotte didn't give Tiffany enough time to speak on the last promo. Nobody cares.
As long as they deliver, because if they don't deliver, then you're gonna hear me say, well, that shit sucked, and I will move the fuck on. Because you know what I don't do? I don't lose sleep over scripted violence.
Hey, bro, it's either going to entertain us one way or the other. Either it's going to be a really great match and we're going to be entertained by the rest of this build, or they're going to go out there and bomb it, and then we're going to be like, yeah, well, make sure that they stay away from each other. They don't work together until they can figure it the fuck out.
Yeah, like have them run a couple of matches on the house show, loop, and then see if they can mesh something together, and then revisit it on down the line.
Bro, do something, because like I just feel like this is too good of a story. The old lion and the young lion, and especially the old lion coming back after being injured, being out, and having not only just the injury to overcome, but some personal struggles to overcome. Like, I think if Tiffany went over at Mania and beat Charlotte, there's much deeper stories that they can tell with Charlotte moving forward, as opposed to if she took the title off of Tiffany and has another title reign.
And
Like,
they can honestly recast Tiffany back as a heel, because she's not supposed to be a baby face.
Bro, there's so much stuff that they can do, and like us as creatives, like I could think of 3 or 4 different ways, damn near off the top of my head, that they could go with these storylines coming out of Mania, depending on who wins. And there's so much there that they can do, and the women's roster is so rich, not only just on NXT, but I mean, if you look at the main roster, there's a lot there that they can work with on both brands. And since the brand split isn't really like a thing anymore, and it's just merely a suggestion now, there's so much there that they can do. And even if you do decide to do another draft or whatever post-Mania like they typically do, like there is so much there that they can do with this and moving forward, and take advantage of this. Take advantage of this situation. It went off script, it got personal, and you could tell that it was very personal between both ladies. Take advantage of this. Use this.
Yeah. And as long at the end of the day they can be professional and have a match
Exactly.
and call it a day. If they can't wrestle, then that's more so on them, and they shouldn't be in that position that they're in. Point blank, period. Like no favoritism, none of that stuff. If you can't be professional after a personal situation like this, then they shouldn't be in the position that they're in. Not at least not yet until they get to that point.
Right. And DJ, real quick, he says this is why I say I'm not a wrestling fan, just a guy who watches wrestling because wrestling fans are weird. No, you are a wrestling fan. We're all wrestling fans. There just so happens to be a bunch of bad apples in every bunch that causes us to not like the whole bunch. And that's the stuff that we have to stay away from. Because I'm a Saints fan, DJ's a Panthers fan. We don't like each other's teams.
I'm a Dolphins fan. And Derek is an Eagles fan.
Exactly. And I want to say, isn't Hi-Lite a Falcons fan?
Nah, he's I believe he's I forgot what team, but
none of us have the same team. None of us have the same team, but we're all football fans. But we can all talk about the same fans, and within our own fan bases that drive us nuts. I see DJ do it all the time. I try to stay away from it because I try to be fair and biased. But I see it in Saints Twitter. I see it in different fan base Twitters and different things online, social media, just in general in talking. There's always going to be those bad apples in that bunch, and those are the ones we just have to ignore and stay away from because they're probably inbreds and they don't know what they're talking about 9 times out of 10.
That's why I am a strong advocate of the mute and block.
Oh, brother.
Like sometimes at some point you just can't you can't reason with these people.
No, not at all.
You have to just mute and block for your own peace. Because some of these fools are just stupid.
And the thing that I've been doing lately is I see stuff that I want to respond to, and I'll click on the profile and check the profile first before I decide to respond. If your follower is low or you just joined,
not even just that. Like I'll be in the middle of a tweet. Like I'll be about to send it, and then a light go off like, nah. Because I know if I reply to this person, my followers will see that I replied, and it will lead to them getting engagement that they're desiring.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. But what we are doing is getting our first non-title women's match at WrestleMania, and it just so happens to be between two Black women in Jade Cargill and Naomi.
We got gunshots and claps because this feud has been worthy of the. Look, you need the West Side gun drop. Bruh.
We heard people.
Bruh. And also, we need one more applause because the first non-title women's match at Mania features two extremely beautiful Black women.
And I guess we might as well reiterate wrestling match, not pillow fight, not lingerie match, not battle royal,
not the pudding match,
one-on-one wrestling match, no hair match.
I don't like you. You don't like me. Let's fight.
You tried to kill me. You pushed me into a car.
Or ran over or whatever the hell she did.
She pushed her into a car out of jealousy because she felt like she was being replaced by Bianca. Well, by Jade. So she was like, yo, I've been here longer. I'm the OG. You the rookie. Not time for me to put you in your place.
Bruh, I'm so glad that they're getting this spotlight. And I think that, I said this when Jade attacked Naomi at the Elimination Chamber. I remember saying this back then, and I'm reiterating it now. Naomi is a good veteran to put with Jade on this big of a stage in her first singles match on a big pay-per-view to allow her to work a good, solid match because Naomi will make her look good. It's up to Jade to put the work in with the facials, the selling, the timing, and the pacing of her moves and whatnot, and her selling and her reactions in order to help this match come up to the level that it can be. Because we all know Naomi can work. And Naomi's, one of the most solid women vets that they have in the locker room. And she's actually gotten better and better over time to the point where we forget that, like, her first title reign was almost 10 years ago. Like, Naomi been doing this for a minute, dog. Like, she ain't just, like, come around or nothing like that. Like, Naomi been doing this for a minute. Left the company, went and worked on her craft and got better, and then came back even better than when she left. So, and the work that she's doing with these promos and those vignettes that they shot, bro, just the caution tape gear itself. Like, come on, man. Like, what we really talking about here, dog? Like this is perfect. And I just hope, I really hope that Jade has been working on her craft and she can hold up her end of the bargain in this match.
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Like, I am. This is the match where I'm like, now they have the opportunity to shut everybody up.
Yes.
Like, if Jade comes locked in, WrestleMania, big stage, ready for a fight, ready for war, bruh, they have the chance to legitimately say, hey, yeah, you watch me evolve, and yeah, you watch me grow, that being Jade Cargill, but now I'm here. Now I'm considered one of the best.
Yes. Because
I've been training, I've been putting in the work, I've been doing my thing.
Thank you. And one thing that I hope they do, I hope they don't make this a no holds barred match or anything like that, because I don't want to have the cop out of weapons and or interference to take away from what these two ladies can potentially do.
Yeah, you can have a wrestling match and be violent. Just don't do no elbow and collar tie up. Just come out swinging. You may have like the announcer's table spot or the spot on the steel steps or something like that, or maybe a sneak in a chair shot or something with the ring bell or something crazy like that. But there's ways that you can have a hard hitting rough match that will tell a story and really let them lay it in without having to use weapons and props. Facts. So yeah, hey man, I'm here. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock with this, and bruh, I love it. And last bit from SmackDown, the favor from CM Punk. Oh wait, before we move on, Rey Fenix, he debuted on SmackDown.
Yeah.
How we feeling about that? I love that
it.
match though. Him and Nathan Frazier. Like, Nathan Frazier is definitely going to cook on the main roster.
Oh, bro, I can't wait. I really can't wait for him to get up there and show what he can actually do, especially on an individual basis. But I'm really loving the fact that they gave him somebody that he can really work with and show off his skill set to everybody. Because now that people can kind of see, and now the next step is like, okay, show him against different other size wrestlers or whatever. Watch him work a match against a big man. Watch him work a match against somebody who's, not really like a huge guy, but like a slightly bigger guy. There's all sorts of things that Rey Fenix is more than capable of. And I love the idea that WWE has him and Penta on separate brands, but are still acknowledging that they're brothers. So I do dig that. I just think that they set him up for success with this match. And I think they really set both of them up for success by keeping them separate right now.
Yes, sir. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm ready to go and see what he cooks on his own. And then, hey, I think Penta said he wanted to have a one-on-one match with him on down the line, mask versus mask or something like that. So, hey,
I would rather see them have like a title on the line, or like have them as a tag team and then split them apart by one of them going crazy or something. I don't want to see the mask versus mask. Like, I just think that mask is so, but if he's calling for it, if they themselves are calling for it, that to me, that's different.
Yeah. If it's something the company's calling for, then nah, we're good on that.
Right. That's how I've always felt about the masks when it comes to luchadors, because shout out to Keeks, man. Keeks really like I knew some stuff about Mexican wrestling and lucha libre, but she really like she knows this is part of her heritage as well. Like, so I really learned a lot more about stuff like that just chit chatting with her. But like I already knew like how sacred the masks were from like just watching back in the day, and the significance that they had. But to learn more about their culture, where they come from, and everything else, their backstory is even better. And once WWE, if WWE actually gets into it, it's really damn interesting.
Yeah. Another news from SmackDown: Kevin Owens. He's out.
Come on,
Neck injury.
man, bro. Like I promise, Gresh, I didn't even tell y'all this in the group chat or nothing, but I was really holding out hope that this was fake. This was story.
Oh, I did too.
And there's still like honestly a part of me that hoping that it is, but realizing it's not.
Or it's not as serious as it
and
is.
it sucks. Especially when he's talking about he could be out, 8-9 months or more.
Yeah.
Like that.
Because I believe he met with his doctor yesterday on Monday. And I guess they were trying to determine, because if it's if he think is fusion neck surgery, and if it's triple fusion neck surgery, then he's gonna be gone for a minute, or
It ain't no telling when he gonna be able to come back,
or he may not be able to come back, or the Sami Zayn match will be his last match, which will be one hell of a way to go out, because you went out with your best friend, your brother, basically
in Canada.
That will be one hell of a way to go out. But at the same time, it sucks, because it's like I believe he did an interview like right after this was announced, and it was like he wanted that match with Randy. He wanted to at least do one more match with John Cena before John Cena retired. So it's like it's a lot of situations where it's like, damn, this like there's no perfect timing to get injured, but at the same time, it's still like, damn.
Yeah, this one kind of hurt, bro, because I love Kevin Owens as a wrestler. Like when I first heard about him on the indies and stuff as Kevin Steen, and some of the stuff that him and El Generico were doing, and just some of the stuff that they were doing over in PWG and whatnot, and ROH, and just the caliber of matches that those guys were putting on, and what they were putting their bodies through, and what they're capable of, and then seeing them get to the WWE and succeed in NXT, and then also succeed and have that same kind of impact on the main roster. Like he really became one of my favorites. And I love the fact that his character was basically like WWE's ombudsman. Like, no, I'm going to keep storyline consistency, and we're going to follow things through. And especially the stuff with Elias and Elijah. Like that was just gold. And it was like, most people thinking it always just this stupid thing. Like, no, like he's the one making sure we don't forget, like, no, you're this, or no, this happened. Like, like just that realness. And you can tell when Triple H really took over creative, because KO was more free to do that type of thing and bring up the past and keep, stories linear and whatnot. And it really, really sucks when stuff like this happens.
Yeah. So all we can do is just wish Kevin good health and happiness with wherever life takes him next. One hell of a career up until this point, that he can look back on. He said 25 years. Like there's footage out there you can watch. Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens, like you can watch and relive that man's career, and it's like, damn, one hell of a career. So
definitely,
yeah. Randy Orton might he might. Are you interested in seeing him face Nick Aldis or anybody? Because he RKO'd him again.
and wait, people brought up that clip from when Nick Aldis found him a couple years ago, 50 grand. He was like, "Wait, this is for 100." He was like, "Yeah, no, that's for the next time."
Yep.
So he prepaid his
debt.
I love that kind of stuff, bro, because it like it's a little nugget that you had in the past, but that's something that you can always bring to the storyline now and use that to build something later. And it's always when you have little callback moments like that that reminds you. And this is why KO was so good at that kind of stuff, because KO could have those little callback moments. And his next opponent, it would be interesting if it was Nick Aldis, but I don't think that they're gonna go that route. I really don't know what direction they're gonna go in. The only other thing that I could think of is let's look at who's been out, who's been injured or whatever, and who can actually like make a comeback. And Nick Aldis be like, you know what? You want your Mania match so bad, I got the perfect opponent for you. You won't find out until everyone else finds out. And then they have like another big return moment or something like that.
Oh, similar to Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, something similar to that. Or, I mean, maybe he could even like try to call somebody out or something like I don't know. But I just hope that they give Randy a match at Mania because.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely not missing Mania. I'm just saying.
No. It's just a matter of like we always say, how are they going to play this out? How is this story going to work? We're literally like, I think like less than 2 weeks away from Mania.
Yeah. SmackDown, then we got Raw, and then SmackDown, then that's it.
A week and a half away. And this is one of your all-time greats. First ballot Hall of Famer. Like, you got to find something for him. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to have something for him.
Oh, yeah. Switching over back to another match that was confirmed for WrestleMania, we have a fatal four-way match for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker defends against Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio.
This one is going to cook.
Yes.
When I tell you this another Jermaine hot take, here it comes. Don't be surprised if this is match of the weekend.
Gresh hot
Do
take.
not be surprised.
Gresh hot take. I feel like Dominic Mysterio should win the title. And pin Finn Balor.
Bruh. That would set up so much. So much.
But they already been planting teas with Liv saying, well, either one, whichever one of you win, will like Liv have that look in her eye that she had when she turned on R-Truth. And it hasn't clicked off since. Like Liv is already over Finn Balor.
Dude, I would love it either way. Like I want Dominic or Finn to win. I would love it if Finn. I don't want the title on Braun anymore. And it's not anything against Braun. It's just that
he needs to be going after that world title.
Yeah, if you bump him up a level or move him somewhere else or whatever, like those other three options, especially one of the Judgment Day guys, there's so much to do with that. Not only within that match, but thereafter. Now, if you fast track and put the title on Penta within his first few months of being there, you could see why, because look at how big of a star dude is. Like they're treating him like a big star that he truly is. And so, and Braun is like one of their future stars. You know, they see him as a future WrestleMania main eventer. So let's not discount him actually retaining the title during this match. But either four of these ways they go, there's so much meat on the bone to tell a story in this match and thereafter. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. But I really do hope if Dom wins this match, oh my God. And now it's gonna be some chicanery, some sort of tomfoolery behind him winning this match, because that's just his character. That's just how he will tend to win matches nowadays. If you look at every Dom win, it's some screwy stuff that's happening that's causing him to win. And it just adds to that heel character.
Yep. And adding to things, let's go ahead and nip this debate in the bud. Braun Breaker has the greatest spear of all time.
You know,
or do you feel like somebody still has him beat? Because
I'm hesitant.
That man had on Monday. I'm sorry.
Here's my thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like Spears with the front flip.
Yeah.
I don't like Spears with the front flip.
The funny thing is, I don't think that was intentional. He just could not stop himself.
His momentum just carried him. Like my thing is because Muth does that goofy.
Bobby Lashley does it too.
Bobby does it, and I
think but the only thing with Bobby, he doesn't flip, he twists.
Yeah, Bobby is more or less like that. I'm running and I'm knocking your block off from a side angle type of tackle. That's what kind of his reminds me of, like a safety that's got an angle on a ball carrier or a wide receiver, and he's coming at that wide angle, and he like hits him, and they both spin and flip or whatever, like that kind. But when you do that front flip intentionally on a spear, like you're supposed to drive through the person, like it's supposed to look like
you're not supposed to do it. You're not supposed to spear and then hit a back bump.
Yeah, like what the hell is that? The only person hitting the back bump should be the one you spearing.
Right.
You're supposed to it's like a form-fitting tackle. Lower your head, lower your shoulder, raise your chin.
Kind of like the one that Braun hit on Roman at the Rumble.
Thank you.
Because he literally he went straight down.
Now that was a great spear.
Yeah, but as far as this one, I'm like, bro. Because that's why when they reposted the different angles, I'm like, bro, do you know how fast you have to be running to flip mid-air?
Yes. And he didn't even jump that. He didn't like jump and forward flip. He didn't try to. He just his momentum carried.
I feel like he only. I feel like he intentionally flipped, because if he would have went straight down with his speed that he was going, he would have spiked his own head.
No, Carlito would have had whiplash, and he would have probably needed neck fusion surgery.
Now I'm talking about Braun would have broke, like the way Braun that angle where his like if he did not flip at the last second.
Oh, you talking about the angle? Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, the way that his body was going that way, bro, Braun would have definitely broke his neck.
Yeah, it like you. Yeah, I think you're right. I was just thinking of more or less like if he would have just like fully drove through and wrapped up Carlito like a form-fitting tackle like that at that speed.
Oh yeah, that would have been
whiplash. Oh man,
dang, that whiplash would have been crazy. So in a way, Braun, this was a brutal looking spear, but it was still safe when it comes to Carlito because it was for both guys because it was on the floor.
One quick funny thing before we move on from this, Carlito actually posted on Twitter his funeral arrangements. Bro, I saw it earlier. I was just dying. Oh my God. Hey man, Carlito is bruh, like I'm mad that he had to spend all that time away from WWE, but I'm so glad that he's back because he adds like that extra little sprinkle of something on top of whatever it is that he's a part of. And he's perfect, and he takes the bumps, don't mind taking the pins. You need guys like that on the roster, and he fits his role perfectly.
Facts. And speaking of roles and stuff being perfect outside of Bianca herself, the match that we've all known that was going to happen is officially going to happen. It's going to be a triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. Bianca, Rhea, Io. Match that could have been announced 2 weeks ago because it was so obvious.
Yeah. I think this was all the way to like shoehorn Io into the match itself. I'm still kind of unclear as to the direction of the outcome of this match, but I definitely think this is another match that's going to cook WrestleMania weekend. And I love the fact that this time Bianca and Rhea were once again arguing back and forth. Rhea mushed Io in the face, and then Io, well, goddamn. Yeah. Why would you put that picture up there? And I'm trying to gather my thoughts.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. Like, you can leave it there now. I mean, I already stumbled. We live now. Shit, it ain't like we could, maybe you can edit this part out or something.
Take two.
Take two. So when Rhea and Bianca are arguing, Io mushes Io. Rhea mushes Io in the face. He still got me flustered. Io got mushed in the face. Bianca didn't do it this time. It was just Rhea that did it. So then I'm looking at Io and I'm like, yeah, she about to get him again. And when they went to arguing, I was like, Io not leaving the ring. She about to do that missile drop kick. And she missile drop kicked Rhea into Bianca, grabbed her title, did her little thing, and then pieced out. Like stuff like that leads me to believe Io might walk out of here the winner because Rhea and Bianca are gonna like want to kill each other, and Io gonna take advantage and end up keeping her title.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening. Or either way, I feel like Rhea should take the pin though.
She needs to, and like you said last week, why do we constantly have Rhea standing tall? I'm
glad they switched it up.
Who lost focus. Exactly. She was the one who lost focus and lost her title. The only reason why this is a triple threat match is because of her. You can't blame that on Bianca. Blame that on yourself. The whole Bianca being booed thing, I don't think that they're turning her heel. I think that people are ready for her to turn heel, and that's why she's starting to get booed. So when she got booed here in where
Minnesota.
was Minnesota? That's right. Oh, wait, it was.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another reason why Tiffany's acting. Well, no, that was a different one. Anyway,
yeah.
No, but like I think that's why she's starting to get booed now on stateside. They were getting booed in Europe. Like I said, it may not be a racist thing. It may just be that everybody's ready for Bianca to turn heel because it's been hinted at and teased over the last month or so. And it could just be, people are really clamoring for her to finally turn heel so we get that real heel Bianca like we used to have at NXT.
Or an evolved version, because we don't want her to regress.
She is still, like I say, she is still their Jane Cena, where she's too good and too perfect of a face and represents too much to the company as a whole to fully turn her heel. So I think we need to get some tweener action, Bianca, but yeah, this match is gonna cook for sure.
Another match that's gonna cook that was just announced for our NXT listeners. It's a fatal 4-way match for the women's championship. Julia, Stephanie Valkyrie, Jordan Grace, Jada Parker.
Brother, man.
Yeah. So, I guess we could say the last two bits that we can talk about before we get up out of here. CM Punk's favor was that Paul Heyman will be in his corner. And I wasn't really a fan of it. The way that they made us wait
that
for
favor.
I understand the favor. I just wasn't a fan of them making us wait for it. I was like, oh, that's it?
It's interesting.
Yeah. It is interesting. Like it just threw me off. You still there? You good? I think we're having a little technical difficulties right here. 1 second. But yeah, the triple threat is the favor is CM Punk is going to you're still here. You're still here, by the way. Jermaine, you're still here.
Bro, I was like, you sounded like a Decepticon.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. You sounded like a Decepticon for a second.
Oh, my bad. It's probably some. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I was.
Who knows? Probably internet.
I was a little.
It's probably telling us. It's also probably telling us to wrap it up too. So we're finna.
Hold up.
You still here?
Okay, here we go. I think we're back. Okay, cool. It was the restream was being weird, but no, like you sounded like a Decepticon, but basically just addressing the fact that Punk's favor is Heyman in his corner. The way that Roman took that news, and the way that Seth was in the corner maniacally laughing, and then Roman like looking at Heyman like what the hell, and then Punk attacking him. Roman sold the hell out of that GTS.
Oh yeah, Peter
He did.
Griffin.
Yo, look, you again stop thinking what I'm thinking. But bruh, like another aspect of his game that people do not give him credit for is the way he sells for his opponents, and the fact that he is who he is to this company and to this business and what have you, and the type of megastar that he's becoming. And I mean megastar in the terms of, outside of the ring as well. Like for him to sell the way he does for his opponents, it's unbelievable. But this whole segment like really showed us that, hey, there's a lot to this match. Like people were just thinking, oh, they're just three big stars that they're just going to put in a big match at Mania. Like, no, like there's some layers to this. And what also contributed to these layers was last night on Raw, on Monday Night Raw, was the fact that Heyman came out and said, I'm still loyal to my tribal chief, and I'm also loyal to my best friend, CM Punk, and, blah, 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 blah. And Seth Rollins interrupted him. And Seth Rollins is basically trying to play instigator now.
Mm-hmm.
And he threatened Heyman and made CM Punk run out there. And then he got the best of Punk and stomped Punk. He fake stomped Heyman and was like, now you owe me a favor. So now we got favors going all the way around. They're just whoring Heyman out as a favor whore right now. He owed everybody a favor. And now people are speculating online, well, what if Seth Rollins becomes a Paul Heyman guy?
Does that interest you?
At first, I was not. Because Seth doesn't need Heyman. Punk doesn't need him either. Only reason why Roman needed him initially was to establish him as a heel. Because once you saw Roman sit next to Heyman, everybody knows, oh, that's Heyman. Heyman's a heel. So if he's aligning with Heyman, he's got to be a bad guy now. Okay, got it. Rollins doesn't really need Heyman. But that dynamic does kind of pique my interest.
It could be a similar situation with because like you said, Punk didn't need Heyman. And they made it work in 2012 and 2013. The voice of the voice of the voiceless.
Mm-hmm.
The voice of the revolutionary.
Exactly.
Who still has a voice.
I am the voice of the revolutionary. I am the voice of the visionary.
I am the voice of the architect. I am the voice of Seth freaking Rollins.
I can hear it now.
So
I can hear it now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I was one of those, I was like, shock value aside, what does that bring? Because I saw people say, oh, championships. Basically give Seth something more serious to do, like bring back 2015 Seth Rollins. That's your first mistake. Don't bring back nothing from the past. That'd be a lot of wrestling fans' first mistake. They want stuff to be rehashed, and it never works in the current year.
Like Cal likes to call him this. Shout out to Cal on Black Wrestling in the Ringer. Cal calls them nostalgia freaks.
Mm-hmm.
And the nostalgia freaks sometimes will ruin the storyline for you because they want everything to look like it did in the past, and that's not what we need. Like there's some things you can call back to and make it interesting or refresh them, but that does not always necessarily need to be the case. Because we're using their past to build the future. And we're using the layers upon layers of this favor was from over 10 years ago before Punk left WWE, that he's calling it now. And that Heyman was so entrenched with Roman as his wise man and whatnot. They're building off of that. And they're building off of Seth, hated Punk for leaving and for leaving him there to carry the ball and for hating on the company while he was gone and whatnot. Like you can use the past to build the story and tell the story, but you don't have to replicate it. And that's the thing that I think that people fail to miss in that nuance is you don't need to replicate it, but you do need it in order to build on the story itself.
Facts. So that's what I mean when I said, hey, you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't want it to happen, but if it does, I'm not mad at it. I'll put it to you like that. I can see where they were going, and I could see why you would have. Look, screw it, make it a Heyman on the pole match.
Heyman on the forklift match because I don't think they have poles anymore.
Look, Heyman in the shark cage.
Yeah, or like he just put him on a tall pedestal and just give it a random nickname.
Hey,
The winner gets the tribal council.
Look, put Heyman on in a quick release thing above the ring, like make it a ladder match.
Facts. And last thing, you saw what?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. Just make it interesting. Honestly, at the end of the day, just make it interesting.
Entertain us, please. Thank you.
Please, just entertain me. And last thing before we get up out of here is, I guess you could say the we're speaking of tribal and the bread and butter of why we here, and pretty much the bread and butter of why the name of the episode is Body for Body, and that is Jey Uso came out and got in Gunther's face, and this ain't the same Jey Uso.
Listen, everybody wanted Jey to get serious. Jay's just an entrance. He's just the music. He's just the gesture. He's just this. He can't wrestle. Blah, 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 blah. Every single time he proves y'all wrong. And not only shout out to Jey for that composed and compressed anger that he held back, that he just didn't throw hands, but shout out to Gunther for selling Jay's emotion. Because you need two to tango, and it's not necessarily just lockups, holes, and moves and spots. Sometimes during a promo, you need both people in order to sell the emotion of that promo. And this was a masterclass by both of those gentlemen. So hats off to Jey for coming through with the seriousness. And I knew what time it was. Like, if you couldn't tell what time it was because he wasn't yeeting with the crowd and he came out focused and he wasn't dancing or nothing, he just came out with like a real intense focus. The moment he slapped the mic out of Gunther's hand, shit got real.
Snatched it out of his hand, looked down, slowly but surely grabbed the glasses and tossed it.
Yeah.
And every time he said a word in the crowd, he's like, "You took out my brother." And they were like, he's like, "Chill out."
Yeah.
And after twice, they got the hint to shut the fuck up with the yeet shit.
that is crowd control. That's crowd control. And when you can command a crowd like that, when you got them eating out of the palm of your hand like that, that's why he's in the position that he's in. So in case y'all still wondering, oh, well, this and that, if the last couple of weeks haven't done y'all any good, haven't sold y'all on that yet, this should have. Because I'm even more vested in this match as well after this promo. The Jimmy thing really like locked me in for real. But this promo right here, where he talked about Mama Oos, nah.
He said, "You got a mother? I got a mother."
Bruh, when a person is that calm and they're that angry, that shit is scary.
Listen, I was one of the ones. I was like, "Bro, throw hands." Because I said I'm the hothead, brother. That's the reason why a lot of people tell me stuff last, because my first instinct is violence. Like, you say, "Hey, this person fucked me over, I'm gonna fuck you up." If you do something to them in front of me, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Right.
So I was like, "Bro, crash out, like go crazy."
Yeah.
But then I was just like, then it took me time, because one thing about me, I will circle back just to make a point. And I'm like, I had to process it. And I watched it again before we went live. And I'm like, no, this shit kind of crazy. Like, when you are that type of angry to where you're still controlling your emotions and your actions, that's more terrifying than blind rage.
Like,
because you're calculating. You're focused.
That's scary. And I had to learn how to be that way, because I would fly into that blind rage to the point where I would get so angry. Like, I'll black out and say something or do something or whatever. And I'll have a hard time remembering like exactly what I said or what happened.
I get tongue tied. I don't do that no more.
Like, now I'm more in control than I was before. So I get more of that, okay, I'm just gonna be slow and calculated with it. More cerebral. But again, shout out to Gunther because his facial expressions during Jay's promo, like Jay was already giving an impassioned, emotional promo, but Gunther really drove that point home by his facial expressions.
He started off smiling when Jay was done. He was rubbing his head like, "What the fuck did I do?"
Exactly, and now it's that same doubt that they were building in Gunther for the last few months with different matches that he's had, and he's like barely winning them. And even there was a couple of times Kaiser had to help him and whatnot, And I just really think that they ended up like really like laying this build out perfectly. And there's only one more Monday Night Raw between now and Mania that they have in order to have some sort of confrontation or something like that. And I think that it should be maybe like a pull apart or something, or even if they don't do a pull apart, would another thing that would sell this match is to do a video side by side, kind of like how they did Tiffany and Charlotte, and then have Gunther like something with Jimmy's blood or something like that, like bring that up or whatever. Like, but there's ways that they don't have to do much more to sell us on.
Honestly, they don't have to do anything to sell me on this. I'm already sold.
Yeah, they don't have to, but I don't know, man. Like after this, it's like, damn, like where do we go from here?
The only thing I see is Jay's like with the calculated side. He's what you call it? He's targeting people and taking them out and looking directly into the camera like, "Hey, Gunther," like he's talking calm, like this will be you, and he's just going crazy. Like he's in control. I hate to say it, bring this up again. He practically becomes Roman Reigns 2020 when he was attacking KO and he was talking shit into the mic, into the camera. He was like, "Hey, you, KO's family at home. This is your tribal chief. Your tribal chief, the head of the table." Like he's calculated. He's like, he could say something like, hey mama Gunther," or whatever, like, because he don't have a last name. He's like, hey, Gunther's mom, it's Jey Uso. This is what your son did. An eye for an eye.
Hey man, look,
some type of shit like that. Not exactly that, but like something where he's just like, because they need to use that control rage to really sell you. Like he doesn't need to burst out in rage until that bell rings.
What I would love to see also is set up a match against him and Kaiser, right? And have him like almost do what to Kaiser what Gunther did to Jimmy, but actually have Gunther come out there, with the title, or have him be ringside or something. And you can have another one of those moments where, they have an exchange or whatever. Gunther gets away, but the title's left in the ring, and then Jay's standing there, like holding the title or whatever. And remember that time when he threw it to him? When have another moment like that, but have him like, holding the title and whatnot, and actually presenting it to the people or whatever, something like that. But I don't know, man. All I can say is I'm really looking forward to this match. And as much as people complained about the build to the road to WrestleMania, I think one of the things that set them back was the Rumble was like the first day of February, and that Mania is a couple of weeks into April instead of like that first weekend in April.
Yeah, they moved it from the Big 4 weekend.
Right.
That was their mistake.
And you've talked about that, and you've laid that out perfectly several times in the past few weeks when we've talked about the build to Mania. People just have to be patient because sometimes they want to build things. They don't want to give you everything right off the bat. And I know that Jay kind of picked Gunther early on in this process, and it left us like, I think at that point it was like 8 to 10 weeks before Mania or something like that.
It was literally right after, like the week after he won.
We had like 2 months almost, or 2.5, or well, about 2 months to build this. And I know that seems like a long time, but it's like you have to think about it. Gunther has beaten him several times before. Jay has that doubt in the back of his head. And plus, they hear the noise when people say he's just an entrance, he can't wrestle, this, that, and the third. You have to find a way to get people more vested into this match because or else it's just another Jay Gunther match. Jay's gonna look pretty good, he's gonna hit his moves, and then he's gonna lose. Like, no, you have to have that little tinge of doubt in your mind that Jay could actually win the title. And this would be a huge pop for Jay to win that title. So one thing that I'm really looking forward to is the placement on the card.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. I ain't gonna hold you. I wouldn't be surprised if it kicks off.
I would say kickoff night 1 or kickoff night 2. Another option, and I know this may sound kind of crazy, having this be the primer right before that night 1 main event.
Oh, the co-main event?
Yeah, I would love to see this be. It could be one of those matches where, like, you had like the Rock Hogan, and then you had Chris Jericho and Triple H. However, I don't think that this night 1 main event is going to like fall flat, and people are still going to remember it. But just having a big moment like that right before you have the big main event, that's another option.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we got one more week to find out and see how we go. But hey, man, I'm excited to see what they do with the follow up with a lot of these. The Tiffany Charlotte situation, Jay Gunther. Hell, even on AEW side, I'm interested to see what they do with the Young Bucks helping Mox retain. I'm interested to see what's like this Swerve Hangman dynamic, and hopefully Swerve handles business when cameras aren't rolling. And that is our show because we're about to stop this camera. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this edition of the GRESH Unleashed podcast, and you already know what to do on my end. You will see me once again this coming Thursday for another installment of the Public Enemies podcast at 7:20 Eastern Standard Time, same time zone as today, but on Thursday. What they got coming up for you, my brother?
Tomorrow night we're gonna do Susio Sports at 8:30. Make sure you tune in. It's at Susio Sports with a Z. You can watch it on my Twitter, or you can like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. But I think I'm also gonna be making a run-in appearance on Marks with Mikes on Thursday night around 9 my time, around 10 y'all time. Me and JT still got to get together and make sure we solidify that. But I know he reached out, so I should be doing Marks with Mikes on Thursday night.
All right. And just give y'all a heads up, next week's episode of the GRESH Unleashed podcast will be tape delayed because it is officially WrestleMania week, which means Jermaine will be out of town and yours truly will be handling business elsewhere. Nevertheless, the show will be tape delayed, aka it will be premiered and not live. It will be dropping on the YouTube and audio on all audio platforms. Around the same time though, 7:20, and it'll basically be a retro review that I will announce on Twitter, as well as our official preview and predictions for WrestleMania. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode and all the episodes we got cooking for you. But with that being said, you guys stay safe out here in these streets. Please stay safe out here in these streets because it's an interesting time we're living in right now.
Crazy.
And remember to always eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. We out, y'all. Be breezy. I am hungry.